You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. It is the two Bryans. It is Straight Outta Conte. We're back. We're so happy Conte's back. We're so happy we're back. You'll notice we're celebrating Korea and what's going on there currently at the moment with the squad in Korea with Sunny, and we've replaced our logo with their flag. And of course, you saw the thumbnail. It's some pretty good stuff from what's going on there right now. Good to see you, Brian. Good to have you in person. Here we are hanging out. It's been a while since we've done this. Probably since you were in the UK. So good to see you, mate. Good to have you back in town.
It's good to see you, mate. I'm trying to think when the last time we were actually in the same room streaming. I think it's when we did the We Are Tottenham TV takeover. And we're doing those pre-recorded, and that was for Ben's stag. And obviously I went for Ben's wedding. Now I'm back. And I must admit, we've got loads of new stuff coming, but
it's going to be a good summer. It's been a good summer, as you guys have all experienced with what's going on so far.
The thing I've been waiting for the most is to bring back Straight Outta Conte. And we're starting in a big way.
We are starting in a big way. We've got this show for you that we're going to go through. The trip to Korea, sort of the interview that Conte just did with Spurs Play, I guess is the newer Spurs TV, is the new Spurs TV. We're going to talk about that, and then we've got a special for you we're going to be putting out tomorrow. So look for that, and that we'll leave it at that for now. But look for it. It's going to be very exciting. Actually, we'll talk about it a little bit at the end, and we'll give you a little bit of detail. But
there we go.
For now, let's get into it. Video starts with the players arriving at the airport. Sonny holding up the sign, welcome
and
to
Seoul,
and doing his wave. Wonderful moment. I thought really fun to watch this, and of course Conte first one through with your favorite person whose name we won't mention, and carrying Conte's bags, which was a highlight, and really great to see this and see the players come through and Sonny greet the team the way he did. It was very cool.
It has been, but you know what? It's more than that. It was all the pre-flight stuff as well. The Richarlison and the Brazilians doing the pigeon noise, the talk on the flight with Matt Doherty's goatee and ranking it out of 10.
That was a good one. I like that.
Just the whole build-up, and then obviously as we get to being in Korea, seeing Heung-min Son with his little placard, which was very sweet. But I've got to say, we're talking about when we're just watching the video, seeing the thousands upon thousands
fans were great,
of Koreans, as you noted, and you noted well. They didn't just have 7 Son, did they? There was 4 Romero,
Skip on there.
4 Skips, sorry.
Romero was there.
Yeah,
there was Perisic, Højbjerg. I was impressed, and the players obviously taking the time, particularly Perisic taking the time.
Yep.
They had to drag him onto the bus because he was just kept signing, and Croatia shirts and stuff, and just the feeling around the club at the moment. After having the summer we've had so far, and we haven't even had a preseason game yet, to see what this squad's going to be like. But we're looking at the squad, we know who's gone to Korea and who hasn't. With the 4 players who left behind, which is kind of, I think, what we all expected. We don't need to spend a heck of a lot of time on that, but it's what we expected. And I'm sure you felt the same way, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to spend any time on them. Listen, they've been left behind for a reason. We're going forward. They are going out. So they're home for an obvious reason. And when we get to the part about the training, we can see why Ndombele was left behind, because he'd be dead. He would be dead. So they arrived in Korea, obviously, and then Sonny's very happy to have them in their own country.
Yeah, for sure. I think one of the things I liked about what Conte said in this interview is thanking the players that have left. He made a point of doing that. I think that despite, not the players that he left behind, I don't think he thanked them. I think that would have been awkward. But he did thank the players that he, Galini and a couple other players he mentioned as well. That I just think that's just a really nice touch from Conte, and that's what Conte. It was nice about Conte. He has that kind of thought, even though he recognizes like the value of what they brought to the club, but also understands that we're moving forward and that we had to do what we had to do. So I like that. For me, that was a nice touch.
Yeah, it's a touch of class, isn't it? Listen, whether they played it up, Galini hardly ever under him, but Bergwijn scored some crucial goals 2 in particular.
And
we're in the Champions League now. Without their input and availability, we might not have been there. So it's a touch of class to say, listen, it hasn't worked out. You're going on elsewhere. No hard feelings. It's football, but thank you for helping us reach our objectives. So it just goes to show what an elite manager does, even for players that aren't in his plans.
100%. He did also mention, which I thought was interesting, was the 7-month base. You know, the amount of time he's been with the club now. You know, it's as we know from the video that came out on Spurs Play, 202 days, and you know, it's the base is incredibly important for the progression of this club and going into this preseason properly. I'm so excited. I'm just so buzzed because this preseason it's the first time in my history following Spurs 30 plus years that I've seen anything remotely close to this type of preparation from this club. Where usually, especially since Levy's been around, usually the club that sort of does everything last minute and it's trying to find some deals, everything else that you know, Levy could try to do to save money. And in this case, we've seen exactly what Conte's asked for and what we've asked for as fans, what you've asked for as a protester, and the other people who've gone down to the ground. It's just been a really refreshing approach to what I think most big clubs do, you know, and that's a nice watch for me.
So what I've got to say, he does mention that word, and there's words that you pick up on, and base, starting with this base. It's like when you go to the gym and you start with a base and you start building yourself up. Unlike when everyone's well documented, Conte comes into teams at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, he continues to remind us of that.
And he has the whole team from the beginning of the season. There we go. But there's been 202 days, or obviously more now. But he's had these players that know what he wants on the football pitch.
Yeah,
they've seen the implications of his fitness during the season, but he couldn't push them that hard. Well, now he knows he's got a nucleus of players that know the drill.
Yeah.
So this is like him starting fresh again, and then the new players come in.
But I think it's even more than that, because that 7 months or that period of time where he came in halfway through the season, the 202 days, it's that plus he's now got a preseason. So it's even more like there's even going to be more knowledge and acceptance and excitement from the players to understand the level they're going to play at when they start to get peak fitness.
Not just that as well. I mean, we hear these words, and I'll go back. I could only say Mourinho, where when he said thing, you listened. Mm-hmm. He, like in his opening speeches, like you hung off every word he said at the beginning, not near the end. Yep. And when Antonio Conte is speaking, not only is he is speaking with a smile on his face. Yeah. And it's kind of one of those, it's infectious. If you're Tottenham Hotspur, this is a lovely smile. Yeah. But if you're any other team watching this,
you're terrified.
You are thinking, holy shit, what is going on here? Because they are ready to. He's putting an army together. He's not putting a squad. He is putting an army ready to go to battle.
That's a great segue to what we're going to get into next, because he basically talks about each of the players that have come in and sort of his history with them and what he thinks about what they're going to do for the squad. Starting with Fraser Forster, you know, he talks about his relationship with. I don't know if it's a relationship, but you know, playing against him in the Champions League at Celtic when Juventus went there. You know, impressive stuff from him. He obviously talks about, which we all know is the importance of a second goalkeeper staying positive, because they don't play a lot of football, you know, and I think this is something Galini, despite, you know, his downfalls as a player, you know, he's not a very good goalie. He's probably a championship level goalie. But he was very good around the ground. And I think a lot of the players liked him. And I think personality is massive for this type of player. He brings in an English quotient. I think that's a big part of it as well, but he likes the player too. So I like to see that from Conte, just kind of bringing up moments of, you know, where he first saw him. The fact that he remembers him from that is nuts.
Well, that's the thing. When we just watched the interview again, when you heard it, and he goes, "I liked him. I saw him play for Celtic when I was at Juventus, and I liked him." So have that in your mind, and then when this came available, and we underestimate how important a second goalkeeper is, because that player comes in knowing. Listen, Hugo Lloris is number one.
And the captain.
They're like, you are hardly going to get a look in unless it's injury, suspension, Carabao Cup, FA Cup.
Cup games are play for sure.
But his stage of his career works. And you look at Mark Schwarzer when he went to Chelsea at an older age. He comes in with a wealth of experience. Yeah. Always has a great game against Arsenal. Against
which
the
is
Filth.
great. Yeah. If we play them in the cup, you know,
and it's a signing. When it first got announced, I was getting very, very critical over.
Yeah, I think I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think part of that is because I do think we do need to find a new number one. I don't think it needs to be this season, and maybe even not next season. I think goalies, as we know, can go longer in their career. But I do think there's a little bit of from Spurs fan base, a little bit of a desire to find that new number one. And you bring in Fraser Forster, and it kind of feels like it's not enough. But I do think it is in this case. I think because of the circumstances with Hugo Lloris and having a great season last season and being the club captain, that it's the right profile, and I think they recognize that.
Yeah, I like I said, I was very against it, but now I'm bought in. I understand every single thing with this transfer, and I think it's a good deal. Yep. It's a good deal. It was the first one to. Oh no, it was the second one to get through the door. We're going to talk about the first one now.
Yes, the next one was Perisic, and I mean, he knows Perisic. He obviously brings that up. He's worked with him in the past, and I mean, Perisic, again, he was talking about him coming off the plane, the way he commands, just seeing him in a dressing room. I just think there's something about Perisic to me that is going to bring something to these players, especially the players that are as good as him but haven't won yet. The Harry Kanes, the Sonnies, the even like the Højbjergs, the desire to get over the line and find that is something that Perisic has in spades, and I think he's going to bring something special to the club. And for the price, for not paying for him at all, and then on a free is massive, and then the winning mentality, and then playing under Conte, he just has all of the things when it comes to a veteran player that you want to bring in. He's like the perfect profile for us.
So when you look at it, when the interviewer who was interviewing Conte said Ivan Perisic's name, he had a little wry smile. Like, you could see how happy he was. If we were to say we've now got a Bundesliga winner, a Serie A league winner, a Champions League winner, a World Cup finalist, a guy that is quick as lightning, that has got, well, you got to remember with this creativity from wing backs, both Sesson and Reguilon were poor at delivery. Were poor.
And finish. I think Sessignon was better at delivery and had a little bit more going forward creatively. And then Reguilon just couldn't score. He potted a couple of key goals that mattered, but they were sitters. And he missed a shit ton of sitters. And I think that's Conte wants to see players with confidence in the box from wingback positions that can score. So Perisic is that.
And what Perisic will bring for the youth and show them how to train, how to conduct yourself, how to do. This is for me the biggest signing out of all of them.
I think he's up there. I think the next one in Bissouma for me is the biggest signing, because I think what he does, he is the proper replacement for Moussa Dembele. I'm not saying he's going to play the same type of football, but what he can bring to the team as far as transitions concerned, power, pace, ability, he's got all of the things you need in that position in the midfield. I feel sorry for your favorite player. I don't think Højbjerg is going to get a lot of game time immediately. I think he'll play a little bit, but I think Bissouma is going to be the first choice of that player, and I think he's going to play next to Banter to start. That's my thought. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but Bissouma's statistics last season were just bonkers, and what he brings to our midfield, and the depth in that midfield now too, with Skip and Højbjerg and Bentancur. I mean, bloody, like, it's just saying it, I'm just like, I can't even believe that's the case.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's four really good midfielders. We can play three now as well.
That is what I'm looking forward to seeing the most this season, the competition because they are four quality people, four real quality people going for two, possibly three positions. Mm-hmm. Now, you look at the league titles and you look at Man City's and your Liverpool's rotate. I
saw a great stat on that. Each player played an average of 30 games.
Manchester City, De Bruyne. De Bruyne was the one that was over 30.
Yeah, maybe you mentioned that stat.
Yeah, and listen, Yves Bissouma is a wonderful player to get. And last year of his contract, I know what you say with Dembele, but again, this is just a great sign of what's been happening this summer. Yeah. I'm very, very excited to see him. Very excited.
Me too. I honestly think he's going to push Skip and Højbjerg and Bentancur. He's going to be the one that pushes them all to another level, because he will earn that spot based on what he's capable of. And they're all good players, like you said. I think that's the key, is that you're looking at four midfielders that would get into any team, and maybe other than City and Liverpool. And even probably in Liverpool, some of them would get into that squad as well. Maybe you could see Bissouma playing at City in that 8 role, replacing Fernandinho. He's that good. I think that in a team with all these really good players around him, he's going to shine. So looking forward to that. Richarlison is obviously the next one we talk about. Character player. This is what Conte is talking about. Character. Conte brings this up a lot when it comes to players and profile, character and profile. type of player are they going to be? How much work rate do they have? What are they going to do on the pitch? He's a shit disturber, which we all love.
Yep.
My favorite video probably so far was the pat on the back that Romero gave Richarlison, and they had a little moment there, and the whole team just laughed and clapped. Yep. And you can see that those two, I mean, just having that at the front of your team as well, as well at the back, and just having players through your spine that are gritty and want to get the job done. Richarlison for me is a wonderful signing, and he is a very much a Conte player. Like, he just suits the profile very much.
Very, very. I mean, I didn't mind him. Didn't think he was worth 60 million. But after spending a week with Simeon,
he gave me all the details. Right?
Simeon loves him, and obviously our beloved Bob Spur is absolutely obsessed with him. Yeah. And the more and more I rather than putting oh my God, I don't think he's right, and looking back and saying, right, he's got all the attributes Conte wants. He's got everything he wants. Yeah. And I keep saying, we went 8 years without a recognised competition for Kane or backup for the forward line, and if you told me 8 years time we'd spend 60 million that will cover all three and give competition, and I honestly reckon he is gonna. I can't wait for him to make loads of people eat their words, because I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna kind of have the impact that Romero did fan wise, like he's in cult hero. Yeah, I think he is literally, by the end of the season, everyone will be shouting from the rooftops about him, and I can't wait. And the great thing is, suspended for Southampton, so his first game Chelsea away, comes on at some point, scores the winner, bang, done, bye.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be fantastic. And the thing about Richarlison, I think. The thing a lot of people are saying about him is that he's not going to get in the side, and I think that's wrong. I think it's very much similar to what we just talked about with the midfielders. There's competition now. You've got five players with Lucas Moura in there as well, who all are capable of playing in one of those positions in a front three. If you play a front two, he's also really good. Would be really good next to Kane or Son. He's just very versatile, and they're all going to be competing. And this means Kane finally gets a rest.
Yep.
Finally gets to stay fit. I mean, he was fit all last season, so I do think that there's a little bit of misnomer there that he gets injured every season, because he didn't last season, and the injury the season prior was only 2 weeks. So he has gotten that sorted, Kane. But I just think Son gets injured, Kane gets injured, Kulusevski gets injured, Moura gets injured. You've got a Richarlison there, and you've got a player that I think we're going to see Conte want to play more than you think.
So the final two things I want to say about Richarlison is, first of all, Kane, as we've heard, Kane is playing in the red zone at the moment because he is playing too much, which means he's more likely to pick up an injury, and we need to drop him out of that red zone as quickly as possible, and keep him fresh and pumping and going,
and buzzing to play again. Because
exactly.
If you take him out of a game, the next game he's going to come in and smash it.
Exactly. I mean, I don't really want to touch him, but I'm going to say he's going into this season knowing that he's going to become Tottenham's top goal scorer, England's top goal scorer. Mm-hmm. Go to the World Cup, could win a trophy at Tottenham, and he wants his golden boot back. That's 5 reasons for Harry Kane.
He's going to be
I mean, we could do a video on that in itself.
We should,
and we will stand by. But the other thing I want to talk about with Richarlison, getting this back to Richarlison, is obviously watching him and Romero shithousery together. Against each other, it was brilliant. But together, mate, that is going to be a thing of beauty. Yeah. And then we've got the last transfer before we go back to Conte and a quiet day at training.
Yeah. Well, Lenglet comes in to fill sort of a depth position behind Davies. Maybe he starts before Davies. I think you're going to get 2 different types of players there. Davies is probably going to play more when we're under the cosh against the Liverpools and the cities of the world. And Lenglet is going to play because he's very good with the ball at his feet. When we play teams that sit deep and we need to cut through them somehow, and he's got a very good pass on him. He's clever with the ball. So you've got 2 different types of players in a similar position that can do 2 different types of things, and depth again in our back 3 there. That we potentially could use another player to come in there. I think some of us are all hoping that we do get one more, but we do have a very deep squad now that we had not had previously. I can't say ever like that I was this excited about. This is all Antonio Conte, and you can see. I think when he first came back in this video, you could see the smile on his face. He seemed, that sort of awkward happy he seemed at the beginning. He was trying to get his grips with things and trying to. He's smiling, but he's like not sure. He seems really comfortable and really happy. And that I think that bodes well for the season. I think it bodes well for his tenure at Spurs, however long he's here. Hopefully, as we all know, hopefully it's longer than he's experienced at other clubs. But to see him this happy, and of course, if the players deliver what he is asking them to deliver with the training sessions, which we can get into now.
I haven't spoken about Lenglet yet.
Oh, I apologize. Sorry, I saw a good opportunity. For
so you know what, with Lenglet again, as we discussed, it's another player that Conte wanted at some point in his career.
He did. That's right. Yeah.
He's a ball playing centre back, and you got to remember in Barcelona he was part of a back two, but at Sevilla where he was playing his best football, he was part of a back three. So I reckon again it suits him big time. The competition, it's just like you said, this squad depth. And I've been a Spurs fan for many a year, and I cannot wait for this to get going. And like you said, Antonio Conte right now is strutting around like a peacock.
He very much.
He is literally like, check this out. I am happy. I am ready to go. And boy, do the players know it. After one training session.
One session, yeah. The players buckled over. Kane pukes at one point. And then comes back a little while later and keeps training. What was it, 42
lengths of the pitch in 30-degree heat.
In 30-degree heat after a change of 8 hours difference in the time zone. I think the training, one of the guys from training was basically said, we didn't want to stop. We just want to just keep rolling with it, get through it, cut through the problem you get from the time zone change, and just push the players. And interestingly, some of the players that stood out were Troy Parrott was the one who stood the longest. Sarr was another one, and Højbjerg, who I think Højbjerg is a Viking. He's always going to be fit. The guy's ridiculous. I think this is going to what's happened this summer is going to take him up a level too, which again bodes well for our midfield in the game. But fun to watch the training. Fun to watch Conte just ream them essentially.
It was, and you know what? This is where I want to say. Where a lot of people going, it doesn't matter when they come in. It doesn't matter because we got Kulusevski and Bentancur on the last day, and look how that turned out. What you saw on day one today is exactly why Conte says he wants his players early. Because if that's day one, it's just going to get more and more intense. Yeah. More and more intense. And you can't say to a player, right, you've got this to catch up with in September, October, November, with risk of injury and everything.
That's a great point.
It's literally what we saw, the players literally collapsing. Yeah. And do you know what? It goes back to what Pochettino said. Pochettino always used to say, I work you hard in training, so when it comes to the match, you are fitter than everyone else. Like when we used to score all those late goals under Poch. Yeah. It was because the fitness was just literally, and you could see. And Cody Mack said it as well. Cody Mack, I've got to big up Cody Mack. And then so Cody said, isn't it not, wouldn't you rather see the players vomiting and collapsing as opposed to seeing them tell jokes and conspiracy theories and playing cricket? And then someone else tweeted, I can't remember who it was, but he remembered a tweet from, or words from Antonio Conte when he was at Juventus. And it was, all players have the ability. The difference is the ones that work hard, the ones that die to win and train until they drop or die. Well, that's what we saw today from each and every single one of them. I mean, this guy, if this is day one, this is the importance that we've said about getting this done early. This is how vital it is, and long may it continue. And all I would say is that fitness guru and that fitness coach never come to Toronto and offer free personal training, because I will run the opposite direction.
It sounds scary, but we don't have to do it, and that's nice. But the Spurs players do, and I think we're going to be really in for a really exciting season. I expect us to start really well because of what Conte is doing, because of the training. And I think we'll be in good stead. I'm just buzzing, man. I hope you're all buzzing as well.
Yep. Going back to that real quickly, that they're doing the 42 laps or 42 lengths in 30 degrees and humidity in Seoul. Can you imagine? They could probably come back in a few weeks and do like 100 in England with
20-degree weather.
Exactly, and come the season. I mean, I think it's the start of a very, very special season. And I mean that. Yeah. I think silverware comes to Spurs. Yeah. And it's all down to the man Antonio Conte.
Yeah, 100%. And that's we love this show. So look for more Straight Outta Conte. We have a special of this coming out.
You were about to forget it there.
No, coming out. I'm not going to give you specifics of it, but it is going to be released tomorrow or the next day. We haven't decided specifically the day and time yet, and I'm not going to give you too many specifics because it's more fun that way. But tune in tomorrow or Thursday or Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Apologize. And look for that. It'll be another Straight Outta Conte, bit of a special, and we're looking forward to that. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. And
just want to say one more thing.
Oh, right,
for all the new people that have started subscribing, this is their first Straight Outta Conte. So just to let you know, welcome to the Tottenham On Tour family.
We appreciate you.
Straight Outta Conte is a concept we came out with that will be done throughout the season. Whenever Conte drops something, you will get an exclusive overview and breakdown from me and Brian Ireland at Tottenham On Tour. So keep your eye out for coming Straight Outta Conte. And all we can say is come on, you Spurs.
And on that note, see you. Peace.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge. Conte.